Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to SevTech Ages. So, since last episode, I have been a little bit busy this weekend with real-life stuff, packing and whatnot. But I did spend some time working over here getting rid of the direwolf building, our cobblestone building. These furnaces do have to get moved, they're not going to stick out of the back like that. But I did spend a bit of time working on this, and coming up with a design I liked, and I've got to build it up just a little bit more and put the roof on it. That's something that I'm working up towards. And then I've got to put, right over here, there's going to be stairs that come up the backside here and connect up to the second floor. But anyways, I have been working on this a bit and cleaning this area up. So I'm moving the smelting over here. I am going to set up some stone grills because they have some operations, you know, that the clay kilns cannot do. I still love the way the clay kilns worked. I wish I didn't have to use the stone grills. And I've got to clean up back in here. I've got to hide away that grass and stuff. But this is a combination of ortho bricks and sarsen cobblestone. I know I had a question. I've actually had this question come up a lot lately, where people aren't able to craft these. For some reason on the server files, there was some testing in the Discord, actually. If I recall correctly, it was Mr. Man that was working on it. For whatever reason, the server files, you can craft these, and you can craft the pillars and all that, but for some reason, single player, you cannot. I believe that's supposed to be fixed in the next patch. I know they're looking into it. But as for right now, if you're playing on single player, I don't believe these are craftable. But anyways, I did a bit of mining as well. You can see I built up on aluminum. Also, the limonite. So last episode, whenever we gathered from it, it's just iron, and then I marked it and went on. You actually get nickel from that as well. So just a heads up, you do obtain nickel through that limonite. And then I expanded out our smeltery. I've still got a lot of cleaning up to do on the top. But you can see our lava's back there. We have our controller. Our chest feeds into that. Right here I can make blocks if I so desire. And then over here I have a liquid hopper set up. Something I've been meaning to do. And I know it was brought up in the comments. It's something I've been meaning to do, but just not something that I prioritized, I guess. But in truth, I wasn't going through metals a whole lot to really necessitate it. But liquid hopper here, and I have it set on the redstone behavior. I had it set to high signal. Okay, it was just a visual bug. I've got it set to high signal, and so if I want to pump it out, I can just pull this lever and it's going to pump out any liquids that are in there. And then it goes into the casting basin. There's a wooden hopper there that pulls it out into a chest. So for example, if I wanted to, and I just got back from mining, I went and gathered up a bit more lapis. And also finished out a limonite vein, or roughly finished out. There's a lot of lava in there, and I used my water sigil and dumped water onto it. You can see this thing can hold a lot more. Anyways, if it smelts up this iron, and this thing has a lot of space. A stack and a fourth, 640 ingots that it can hold. And I'm working on bringing this up. It's going to have like a little chimney that comes up and goes out the top, out through the roof. And since the wattle and daub blocks were disabled, I was working on just some wattle and daub project. My own wattle and daub. It's a combination of white concrete powder and then dark oak. I still got to put windows and all that stuff in there. Like I said, I had a lot of real life stuff going on. But anyways, you could see the iron is finished up, 8 blocks, 8 ingots. And we can pull this lever. Oh, whoops. Let me put a cast in there. We're going to throw an ingot cast into that. And so then if I pull the lever, it's going to start pumping out the iron, and it's going to go into here. So 30 ingots, 31 ingots, and so on. So that is in place. And then also I spent a little bit of time over here. I went ahead, well, didn't really spend a whole lot. I crafted one thing. I have a block placer. Now, I'm going to actually change this up slightly. Because right now, not all the wood lands in that hopper, and I know that's been a thing since we first set it up. Once we go to the Nether, we get some withering dust. I'm actually going to set up an ender hopper and connect this chest up, and then we're going to plug everything up once we get into it with blood conduits. So that's how we're going to transfer stuff around our base for the most part, because those are in Age 3, so we technically have item conduits in Age 3. So anyways, block placer, if I throw down wood, I've got it set to always on. Basically, if I grab some wood and I throw it in here, what it's going to do is it's going to automatically place it. Now, eventually, this block placer is going to go down, and so I'm going to move the chopping block back over here so it'll place it up. So I think it'll look a little bit better. But for right now, I've just got it set right there. And then you can see, there we go, it places it. and then the stuff goes into here. This thing wasn't too expensive. I did have to make some platinum plates and some redstone alloy plates, but nothing beyond our means, really. Of course, we have glowstone from, I don't know, Twilight Forest, and then also from killing witches. So, also, I spent a while, quite a while. I've still got a bit of work to do up here. I actually started with a different design, kind of, and okay, I actually started with a couple different designs, but I've begun putting the head on this bird, and okay, let me tell you about the difficulties I ran through with this. So first up, when I first started setting it up, I started with the eyes and started doing the idea of the beak, right? And then I got to looking, and I was down there, and I was looking up here, and I was like, it really looked like T.J. Eckelberg, like you know, from Great Gatsby. It really looked like the eyes of God, you know, and so I was like, no, because for one, I had it all just on a flat face of this totem, and I didn't really like it. And then I started doing a second design, and then I decided I didn't really like the way it turned out because it didn't look quite like a totem. I had some reference pictures up, you know, and I was using more of a reference picture of an actual eagle instead of a totem eagle. And I don't know, I just didn't like the way it turned out, because if you look at the totems, and this is something the totem animals are a little bit different than actual animals. You know, they don't have, the eyes are different, I guess. The eyes are very blank, expressionless. And I noticed something with the totem birds, and I can't bring myself to do this. I don't know, I'm still on the fence about it. I've noticed that with the totem animals, they tend to have what appears to be a mouth coming, like a totem bird, instead of the mouth being at the beak, which is how mine is set up at the moment. The mouth actually runs out the side and actually has what looks like lips and teeth coming out the side. And I got to thinking when I was making this, and I actually think that the reason that is, and this is just a theory, but I have a theory that the reason that is because you can't really, with a bird's face, you cannot denote expression without a mouth. You know, without a mouth, without eyebrows, you can't really denote expression on a bird. And I mean, that's realistic. I mean, birds see a bird smiling, you know, or anything like that. Whereas like dogs and stuff, I feel like they can actually express emotion with their mouth and their eyebrows. I don't know. We can't pick up on a bird's expression. So I've noticed that with the totem animals, they tend to have a mouth. Like looking at actual like Native American totems, they actually have what looks like a mouth that comes out the side with lips and teeth and stuff like that. That kind of conveys an expression on the face, whereas this comes out looking very expressionless without that mouth. I mean, from the front, I mean, it looks all right. I mean, it looks like kind of what I was going for. But anyways, the second attempt, I didn't like the way it turned out because I was basing it more off of an actual eagle instead of a totem-based eagle, and so then I scrapped it. And then on my third attempt, okay, I got everything out. The eyes looked great. The beak looked great. I actually had a different design for the beak. When I was looking at the totem animals, some of the totem birds, their beaks come out straight like this. Some of the totem birds, they come out and then they hook down. And kind of, their beak is pointed down. Almost like a macaw or something like that is what it reminds me of. Instead of like an actual eagle's beak, I guess. So I'd done that design, and the beak pointed down, and it actually came out looking really cool, really nice. And then I realized when I stepped down there, I was like, that scale is all off. Like the head, the beak, and the eyes and the features and stuff are way too small. So I had wasted pretty much another 3 hours there. I think altogether, I think I ended up scrapping 7 or 8 hours worth, probably close to that. Probably about 7 hours of chisels and bits that actually isn't even visible on this. So altogether, I think I spent probably around a half a day just getting this in. Like, it took forever. It really took forever because I just kept scrapping everything, because you're trying to find a fine balance between totem animal aspects where it's not actually, it doesn't actually look like, you know, a bald eagle. It doesn't actually look like a bear, you know, so on. But it's like that interpretation of that animal. So I was trying to find that fine balance between the animal and the totem stylized animal. And I'm pretty happy with the way it come out, especially looking at it from the front here. I mean, I've still got it's nowhere near done. It's got a ton of detail work, and I've still got to play around with the face a little bit and bring it out to the side and detail work on the sides here. I will say the back sides are probably going to be a lot less detailed than the front, but I think that's true of standard totems too. Like generally the front, super detailed, the back just tends to be paint, you know. And that's probably how we're going to do it on this one as well. So just some paint detail on the back. Yeah, this took forever. And I played with the eyes and messed with the eyes. And yeah, I bet it was probably around half a day, close to half a day spent just doing this. Just because I kept scrapping everything. Like I would spend forever like perfecting the bacon. And I was like, no, and blow it all away, you know. So anyways, I have started that. It's very much a project, to say the least. And then I did some thinking, and I decided that I haven't started working on the council area, like putting the table in, stuff like that. I haven't started that. And I also haven't started putting in the merchants in the merchant plazas. But I was doing some thinking, and I think we're going to do a combination of villagers and remnants for the merchant area as well as the council area. And the council area and the merchant area both give them name tags and all that, make it kind of nifty. But I was thinking these remnants here would be kind of cool to have, because they do that sound effect, like they talk. But then they also look really, really cool. And I tell you what, I probably cannot speak to him because I do not have the Necronomicon. But it would be kind of cool to have them set up. So, I mean, I guess you could buy the charms and stuff if you wanted. But also just for like decor and stuff. So we're going to have, plus the remnants have quite a few variations. They look really cool. They are really cool. They make cool sound effects. And it would kind of fit into like our mage build style with the town and with the castle and everything. I think it'll be kind of nice. So, but anyways, I've been building on here as much as I've had time. So I have done a little bit of work here. This is soon going to change to an ender hopper, and then it's going to be fully automated. Except the collection route. Well, the collection would probably automate it pretty soon, because it's not terribly far into blood conduits, in truth. But I've been working on this a bit. Just working on the floor and bringing the pathways around. But like I said, I mean, the most of my work was spent on the totem and on that blacksmith building. That Wattle and Daub stuff is actually, it's super simple looking, but it actually takes a while. Because of the fact that I cannot really effectively use patterns for this. Because it's actually quicker just to set it to line and just build it out with lines than it is to try to use patterns, because I have so many different, you know, like that would be a pattern, that would be a pattern, that would be, well, no, actually that one's off there. So those two would be a pattern, that would be a pattern, that would be a pattern, that would be a pattern. You know, it's all different. So it's actually quicker just to build it out with the line, and it does take a little while. Also, Harakane wanted me to open this up so you guys could see what's been being produced. Oh. We just got Bane of Arthropods. Arcane Scroll. That is awesome. I will take it. So anyways, this is some of the stuff that we've been getting. I have emptied this a couple times, and then we've also got just armor, which we're going to be utilizing before long. Also, Ender Dust. There's none in here. I've actually gotten quite a bit of Ender Dust, but I tend to pull it out, smelt it down, turn it into Ender Pearls. So, but you can see we've gotten like sugar and bones and gunpowder and flesh and Arcane Scrolls and all that stuff. So it's really nice to have. Just, it's passive. It's not super fast, but it's passive. And of course it really only runs when I'm here on the server, because I have to be within range of it. But I tend to be on here, so it does run a lot. But it's just kind of passive items. And once we start actually smelting down all this armor, because it was brought up in the comments a while back that these do not have to be fully repaired to smelt them down. So we're going to have a lot of free just gold and iron just out the wazoo as far as this goes. Anyways, that is what I've been working on. Time-consuming projects. Oh, okay. So anyways, what I want to do today is I want to continue on with Age 3. And I want to go to the Nether. First and foremost, I want to go to the Nether because we are going to have to do that in order to make our drawer controller. Really, the drawer controller is not super far away. I find that interesting because we've already done that. Let's see, and then a book and a lever. We might actually knock that out. yeah, let's go knock that out real quick. And we should get the... I'm assuming that we should get the advancement for making the hammer as well. And we will probably be using this later on, but Engineer's Manual, there we go, and we got the advancement for making the Engineer's Hammer as well. So now we got a lot of stuff that just opened up to us. But anyways, yeah, we're going to have to use that to make treated wood, and then storage door controller, and Engineer's Workbench, and all that stuff. But anyways, I want to head to the Nether, first and foremost, and I never put obsidian in here. Oh, that's fine. I've got some right here. Now, there are portals that are already built. They're already set up in the world. You've probably seen them when we're flying around out near the desert. They tend to spawn in deserts a lot. And funny story, so like the other day, I've been having a lot of issues with my internet. And I called them because I wanted them to get it fixed. And they came out here. And they don't have like a night service that'll look into anything. By the way, here's one of the nether portals that you can build. These massive ones. And then there's a smaller one out here somewhere. But anyways, I got them to come out here, and, you know, they only have a day service. Well, for whatever reason, my internet's been okay during the day. At night, it has been horrendous. It has been absolutely horrendous. Like, it's just been, like, it'll be between, like, 60 megabits per second down to about 0.5 megabits per second. Like, that's how bad I'm talking. And so, anyways, I can't find it. Well, anyways, the ones with the little runes around it, with like little pillars and stuff, there is a small nether portal built into that. It doesn't really matter for us because we have obsidian. I'm not too worried about it because you can get obsidian pretty easily with conversion wand or with the cobbleworks like we've got. Let's go ahead and pop up over here. But anyways, I had them come out and look at it, and I happened to be uploading a video when they first showed up, right? And so they get over here and they're like, yeah, I'll tell you what the problem is. It's because your upload is capped, like, so it's gonna slow down your because my upload's been fine. For whatever reason, my upload speed's been fine. My download speed has been what's been so bad. And it's made playing a major headache. And so anyways, where do I want to set this up at? Okay, I'll tell you what, we're going to set it up right back here. And I'm actually going to make it 3 wide just so it fits in better. I think that'll look nicer. So anyways, they're like, it's because your upload speed's max. And I'm like, no, it's not. You know, it was during the day when they came by. I happened to be uploading a video at the time. But I was like, you know, I tested that. I shut it off, you know. I know what I'm doing. You know, it's not like my first time with a computer. And I don't know if I want that there or not. I don't know. I have an idea for how I want to design this out. But I'm not for sure if I want that corner piece in. So anyways, so I was like, you know, I tested it with that. Or, you know, not having something uploading. It's not like I have something uploading 24/7. And that's not the issue. And there's our nether portal. And I'm going to go make some food real quick before we pop in because I only have one more piece of food. But then they were like, well, that's probably the reason that it's messed up. And I'm like, no, it's not. You know, I've tested it without it uploading. And he's like, well, right now your upload's capped, and that's likely to be the reason. I'm like, no, it's not. And they just kept arguing with me, so I was like, whatever. You know, we're moving in like 2 weeks. I just gave up. Like, I don't know how. I mean, it's a local company that we go through for this apartment, you know. It's a local company. Whenever we move, it's going to be it's going to be Spectrum, which at my old apartment, I didn't have too much issue with them. There was a couple times where I had some issue, but that was, they literally, Spectrum had just became a thing, I guess, because before it was Time Warner, and then I guess Time Warner bought out Spectrum, and we had been through Time Warner, and then it just kind of changed to Spectrum. So, but man, I was so frustrated. All right, let's pop in. Let's pop into the Nether. But yeah, I was just finally like, whatever, you know. We're moving in 2 weeks. I've argued with them long enough, and then I was like, no, not anymore. Okay, so we entered the Nether, and you can see we're actually in somebody else's base. I believe this is Calahat's. We're going to have to link our Nether portal over. But this is what the Nether looks like. Primal core, okay. Nothing of any note. Alright, so in the Nether, there's wither skeletons. Wither skull fragments. Thorn stalks. Wither skull fragments, 9 of them makes a wither skull. That's actually kind of nice. That's a much easier way, probably, to make wither skulls. And then we got the wither dust that we need to make an ender hopper. Heat scar spiders. And baby heat scar spiders. I have a feeling the nether is going to be fairly easy for us at this point because, I mean, we're pretty much OP at this point, I'd say. So, this is actually supposed to be soul sand, huh? Okay. Just wasn't rendering properly. And what is this stuff up here? Crop black segment. Alright. Okay, that harvests all of it. Now, there is something I would like to find here. If we take a look at Primal. This scoria stone, I would really like to find this stuff. Very, very, like, blood red looking stone. I quite like it. So, and there's also soul stone that I would like to get. But anyways, this stuff, not a ton of use for it at the moment. But actually, I believe Chlorfigure Parbria segment. I think there's something in here for Primal Core. I seem to remember seeing it. Yeah, right here. There's a wood type. There's a Chlorfigure segment wood somewhere. Somewhere's in here. Right here. Chlorfigure planks. And what is that? What is those shuriken monsters? Okay, let's go investigate. But anyways, we'll grab some of that wood. It seems like there's not really like a way to plant it. This thorn stalk. What can I use this for? What are these things? Spinouts. What is that? Okay, what is hitting me at the moment? What did I just pick up? Dacus Mern seeds. Plant on Nether farmland. What is this? Oh, it's a little monster. There we go. Man, okay. Dacus Mern. Which it makes what? What is this stuff? Hey. I'm gonna get through here. There's just so many cool things I'm like checking out. We're like 5 feet from the portal at the moment. And there's more of those Dacus Mern seeds. Okay, well, whatever. Cineris fiber we can use to make Cineris twine, which is pretty much interchangeable with twine. Okay. And thorn stalks have no use at the moment. But they might be cool for decor. They're kind of like the Nether's version of sugarcane. Alright, let's head off in this direction. We've got... Looks like somebody's built a road through here, so I guess we'll take that. And do I want to kick on the magnets? I think so. Oh, and you know what? Before I run off really far... Let's go ahead and mark home. And I got another wither skull fragment. That is nice. Oh, a stone gear. And a Valis seed. What? I'm assuming, I don't know, maybe spinouts. No, not spinouts. I didn't kill a spinout. I'm getting stone gears from spinouts. Interesting. Saves me from having to craft them, I guess. Alright, so let's see where this goes. Is this the soul stone? Yes, for mystical agriculture. And we've also got scoria stone. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and farm up a little bit of the scoria stone. And then, do we want soul stone? Since it's still sitting here, I'm going to assume... Actually, I know Galahad's running quarries through here, so I know he doesn't need this. I'm pretty sure he doesn't need soul stone. So, we're still pretty close to his base, but... Honestly, the distance between me and Galahad's base, since the Nether is like a tenth of the distance, it's not going to be terribly far away. Oh yeah, there's soul stone like all over the place. Okay, I was actually wanting some of this for building. Okay, there's a nether fortress over here. So we're going to head off in this direction. I'm going to grab up all this scoria stone that I come across, though. And I'm going to go ahead and grab up some nether bricks. Sounds good. Conversion wand is the best thing in the world. Like, it's so good. And it's so good for mining. By the way, one thing that's interesting, and I don't know in comparison to, I didn't actually think, because for whatever reason my Swift pick kept bugging out with Lapis. But when I was mining Lapis ore, I mined it with a Fortune pick, right? And then I mined it with Excavate wand. And it ended up being the same output. So either the Excavate wand has Fortune by default, or Nether Warts. I'm going to grab a couple pieces of that. I'm not going to grab all of it because other people may want it. But it ended up coming out to be, you know, the same thing. Can I, we're going to need shears for that. Let me go ahead and grab some, because I'm assuming that it probably grows just like standard vines do. This stuff takes forever to break, though. Okay, and I'm not really for sure what I'm looking for at the moment, because I know this place is going to have been looted and pillaged pretty hardcore. So actually I'll probably just leave this nether fort, and we're going to head on, because the spawners, of course, in this pack, they're limited to 400 spawns before they like despawn. So I'm not expecting to find too much here. I imagine it's all been looted. Oh, but I do see blazes right there. No, you don't. And we got no blaze powder. Okay, there we go. For whatever reason, in this pack, anything with altered drops, Fortune does not work on them, so we're not getting blaze powder from blazes because, you know, we're not getting lucky. So it's going to make farming up blaze powder fun. Oh, nether quartz ore. Okay, so if I was to mine this with a regular pick, I get 1. If I mine this with a conversion wand, that's 4 pieces. See, I get a little bit extra. But then if I mine it with, say, a fortune pick, yeah, see, fortune and conversion seem to be, they feel about the same. They might be, fortune might be faster or more. I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure on that. But anyways, that's one of the things that we're looking for is nether quartz. So, I don't know if in 1.12, if it's like, if in 1.12 it's default a darker looking quartz or not. I'm not 100% sure, in truth. But, or if that's changed in the pack. I'm assuming that's new for just vanilla Minecraft. So it's no longer like a white quartz. I don't know. No clue. Oh, I see ghost wood. I do want that. I do, in fact, want me some ghost wood. Conversion wand also works fairly well for that. Okay, give me saplings. I guess I could just conversion wand it. That works for leaves. Okay, well, I've got 5 saplings. That's going to be plenty. Yeah, I'm going to end up filling up my bags. I've still got the lurker skin pouch. I still have to go get a new ring. Honestly, it's not going to be too difficult, because I just have to go kill that boss again, but I just haven't done it yet. And dark wood. We'll go ahead and get this wood type. And then we just need fused wood, and I need to get blood wood. I've seen some. It's not terribly uncommon. Okay. But ghost wood is kind of my jam, so I always go for that. What do we got here? Brown elder mushrooms. Hey, I'll take it. And wither skull fragments. And a wither skull. Awesome. I am planning on making a decapitator, but, I mean, we're actually getting wither skull pieces at a decent rate at the moment. Okay, I do want this glowstone. 57 pieces. I will take it. Alright, so let's fly around. There's something I'm looking for, and that is nether amethyst. And I'm also wanting to stock up on nether quartz and glowstone. We've got lively quartz right here, which is basically another version of nether quartz. What is that stuff hanging down off the ceiling? I love all the stuff that Primal Core adds to the nether. Like, the nether's not terribly... Oh, look at all that glowstone. I'm gonna go for it. But man, there's so much stuff to collect. Like, if you're like me and you just like hoard up everything. So many things to collect. Ash. I got really excited there for a second because I was thinking it was like ash from embers. Whoa! Spore creepers. Okay. And they're spores. Whatever these are. I can only assume that they turn into creepers, like whenever they hatch. Alright, well let's go out. I'm still looking for... Let's see. If we take a look in the advancements, right? Let's actually take a look at the advancements. I've just been running around. I know I want Nether Amethyst. That's one thing that I'm after. But we're looking for a Arctic Abyss biome. And then we need to collect blaze powder and use the metal press to convert it into blaze rods. We'll do that later. That's not something we're going to be doing in the Nether. And then right here can be located using the H3 and above prospectors. It's the Nether Amethyst ore. And that's something that I'm looking for. Now, I don't know, honestly, where it spawns. And I do have night vision, so I'm assuming that if I saw it, if I spotted it, I would be able to notice it pretty quick. This looks like a Nether Arctic. Yeah, the Nether is frozen over and Nether warp. We just got those two advancements. Oh, what are these? Bone spiders. Okay, they drop frost fangs, sinuous spores, and bones. Use the bone hoe to till dirt and also for tilled soul sand. Okay. Debauchy. Okay. Oh. Is that Nether Amethyst? Is that Nether Amethyst? No, that's Nether Rime ore. Which drops Nether Rime crystals to make Rime and Steel and Nether Rime block. Oh, okay. That's to make... I actually want that because that makes the Frostburn, or this stuff right here. That blue fire. And I'm assuming... Yes, I can use that. Awesome. And so we'll just conversion wand a bit of this ice. Because I am wanting to use this stuff later on. A white? I can't move. I am frozen. Awesome. There we go. Okay. I got quite a bit of frostburn ice, so I think that'll be alright. Oh, I'm frozen again. I hate this freeze effect. This would be really bad if we were actually being attacked by anything. Icy quartz ore. And I'm assuming that's just more nether quartz. Yes, it is. Here's another nether fortress. This one may not have been looted yet. I don't know. Ah, there's a blaze spawner right there. Now, I could pick this thing up, or I could sit here and kill the mobs. I don't know which one that I want to do. I tell you what, I'm actually just going to hang out here and kill the blazes. Because why not? So, I'll be back here in just a bit. I'm going to try to stock up on some blaze powder and stuff. And kill them while I'm doing this stuff. So, I will be back here in just a bit. And then we'll continue exploring this fortress. Because I'm assuming that this one hasn't really been... Like, it's fairly untouched looking. Stuff's terrible. Actually, I wonder, can I use conversion wand on it? No. Oh, I can. It just doesn't show up. But I don't get the... Yeah, that's right. Because I don't have like a silk touch or sheer effect on it. So I don't get that effect from it. But okay. Yeah, I'll be back here in just a bit. Okay, that took a little while. I was editing some footage and some stuff. And I was actually just letting the mobs... I was standing back here. And I put a block in front of that. And I was just letting the mobs kind of build up. And then I was going in there and killing them. A couple things to note. The spawner, it's not 400 blazes. It's 400 spawns. So if a spawn spawns, for example, say 3 blazes, that still only counts as 1 spawn. And when it breaks, it does drop a spawner shard. So you can just kind of farm it and let it break. You can see I got over 3 stacks of blaze powder from that. Not to mention 45 levels. So let's go ahead and put that up in here. Oops, wrong way. Also, fortune does not affect it, like I said. But something to note is it doesn't have to be a player kill. I was able to use the voodoo doll. Especially when they built up. We have 121 levels in there. Not a whole lot of use for those levels, but we do have 121 levels. So it doesn't have to be a player kill. So just a heads up. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, I did put Unbreaking 3 because we had those 2 Unbreaking 2 books. I upgraded them, stuck Unbreaking 3 on our Wild Dog Pelt Boots. That was between episodes, but Also, these right here, this is what was hanging down. I totally forgot to go over there earlier. It's just enoki mushroom stems. So they can drop enoki mushrooms. Okay, so let's go see if we can find ourselves some nether amethyst. And from what I understand, this stuff only spawns in the vanilla hell biomes. And I did do some testing just now, and the conversion one, it does not have fortune. I was thinking it was, but that was lapis, and I think lapis drops like a bunch. I think generally lapis does too, but it's only dropping one nether quartz. So it does not have a fortune effect. So anyways, let's see if we can find ourselves some nether amethyst. And from what I understand, this stuff is only found in the hell biomes. Like the vanilla hell biome. Which, if you don't have journey map, you could probably use the biome finder thing. The biomealizer. Right? You could use that, I guess. But we have journey map, so we can just check journey map. I'm glad I don't have to carry around all those tools, because that's just crazy. Like GPS or whatever and all that stuff. Okay, so we can use the spawner, the ore prospector. I'm kind of worried this thing is going to end up breaking on me. And apparently this stuff is like super rare, so it might take us a little while to find some of this. But I would like to find it. I do know it is affected by fortune. I was doing a little bit of reading on it just out of curiosity type stuff, and it is affected by fortune. So we are definitely going to want to use our fortune pick for that. And I almost think this stuff could probably spawn like on the surface and stuff. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's that rudokite or whatever. No, that's nether amethyst. Okay. I thought, yeah, okay. So we did find some nether amethyst. It can spawn, seems like it can probably spawn about anywhere. Okay, we just got one off that. That's no good. By the way, this is Fortune 3, or Luck 3 now, so. Okay, well, I'm almost thinking that our best bet is probably just going to be just flying around. I need at least 9 pieces of this, because I need to make a block of it. Oh, we got a guest here. Oh, I see nether amethyst right there, too. Aha. Alright. 4 gas tiers off a single gas. That's awesome. Okay, nope. No. No, I don't want to go falling down, actually. I want to go right up here. And let's snag that. Okay, we got 3 that time, so 4 nether amethyst from that. That's not too bad. When you just fly around the nether, stuff's not too bad to gather. I mean, it's not terribly common, but I'll tell you what, once we get up to V's craft, the stuff's going to be even easier to go out and gather, because we're going to have, like, controlled flight, which is going to be nice. There's some nether amethyst tucked away back in here. 1 piece, okay. I like it when it gives me 4, personally. I did notice that the uses for this aren't too extensive. I mean, we can make entity detectors for players and the liquid purple slime. And then we make the blocks, and that's how we make the drawer controller. And that seems to be about all that we're going to use this for. So it's really not something that has a ton of uses, at least at the moment, from what I can tell. I don't know if maybe entity player detector is used for... No, it's not really used for anything. Purple slime, night slime, and all that. But yeah, it's not. It doesn't seem like it's something that we need a ton of. I think once I hit 9, we'll be all right on it for right now. Man, I'm not having a whole lot of luck. I got extras once, but here's some more. 7, and I think I just saw some. Yeah, right over here. Yeah, this stuff isn't too rare. I mean, it's kind of rare, but if you have flight, this stuff's really easy. And there's another one right over there. Like flight and night vision. Okay, and honestly, I don't think that there's much else that we're going to need from here right now. I mean, I am going to need wither skulls, but I'm going to need a lot of them. And I'm going to make a decapitator before I even bother with that. I mean, the skull fragments are nice. That would be a good added bonus. But I would like to have... What? Okay. I would like to have, you know, an 80-90% cleaver for getting the heads, and then use the fragments as just kind of an added bonus sort of thing. And I'm going to need quite a few of those. I'm going to need like 5 that come to mind for blood magic, because we need them for our Tartaric gem, and then we also need them for our beacons for upgrading our altar. I see one. I see an amethyst. Just kind of gathering this because we might eventually need it or something. I don't know. I'm sure I'm going to need more than one drawer controller before it's all said and done. I know right now I need at least like 3 ideally, which honestly it's not too bad. So I'm just kind of grabbing some nether amethyst, but starting to get kind of excited though because I'm going to be able to actually sort things soon, like with the drawer controller. So, okay, so I'm going to start heading home, and home is 1,152 blocks off in that direction. I did peek around the rest of the nether fort, but I didn't really see much of anything, at least where I looked. There didn't seem to be much. So, either it's all been looted, or chances are it's probably disabled, like the loot is probably disabled within this pack. I'm betting that's what it is. Hey, what is this thing? What in the world? We have a gas spawner. An urn of sorrow. There is loot in here. Not much that I would actually want. Gas tier. Not even worried about the gold. Yeah, there's another one right here. They're not too uncommon. I'm assuming this one spawns gas as well. Yes, it does. Actually, I was just looking. The Potion of the Lost is not very expensive. So I'll tell you what, next episode we'll actually summon that boss with the Urn of Sorrow. We'll actually do that. Like next episode. Maybe this episode. We'll see. Probably next episode. Okay, so I am almost home. But right now, I don't know if we'll get into blaze rod. I mean, I can make blaze rods with Abyssalcraft, but it's a little bit more efficient. Basically, each blaze rod would be 4.5 powders for each blaze rod with Abyssalcraft, whereas if you do it with Immersive Engineering, it's 4 powders per rod. But honestly, I have enough powders that I wouldn't mind spending 1 just so we can go ahead and fight a boss. So we'll go ahead and do that. Honestly, we're getting down to where, I mean, we've still got a few bosses left to do. Hey, there's another amethyst. I'll take it. Up to 15 of that. Hey, there's another one right behind it. I'll take that too. We've got enough to make 2 drawer controllers. That's not bad. There's more nether amethyst. Yeah, there's actually nether amethyst like all over the place. Oh, there's 3 of them. Okay, we'll take it. But yeah, we'll summon that boss today, actually. Might as well. Just for fun. I don't think it really has anything that we need at the moment that I can think of. But we might as well do it. I'm probably not going to get into RF today, so we'll probably do it the Abyssalcraft method instead of, like, to make the blaze rod, instead of, this was the one I saw, like, out in the wilderness, like, random. 1,000 blocks from my house. I don't know who lit it. Somebody lit it, and it's just way out here. So, okay, never mind. We will not be summoning the boss this episode because, and this is the most jank thing I think I've ever seen. Okay, Abyssalcraft isn't by default. It's not required, you know, and especially like the start of Age 3, going through Abyssalcraft is a whole lot more effort than getting into RF. I feel like in some ways a lot of that was like wasted within this pack. But if you take a look at, like, okay, blaze rods, the way I was going to make it was using materialization, and then the crystallizer. Materialization takes block of ethaxium and ethaxium bricks. You know, I could pull all that off. However, for whatever reason, block of ethaxium, the only way to make it is metal press. So you have to get the metal press before you can even make the block to do that. So it's kind of, I don't know. I don't understand that. So yeah, we're going to have to wait until we get to RF before we can summon that boss. So there we go. So anyways, let's go ahead and make ourselves our coke bricks. And we're going to need 9 crafts of these. So 27. And then we have to go set this up. And I think there's a advancement for this, right? Yeah, produce both creosote liquid and coal coke. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab some coal, actually. I'm assuming that coal coke is standard. Yes, it is. Awesome. And then block of coal coke is like that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just start with singles for right now, because I'm not that worried about it. Let's grab ourselves a stack of coal, and I'm going to go ahead and grab a stack of wood. because we are going to have to get treated wood. And I'm going to set this up over here, because here pretty soon we are going to start working on our... Because here pretty soon, Necromancy / Technomancy is going to be going into this area, which is still a long ways to go. For right now, I'm going to set it up over here. This is subject to change. I might move it. We'll see. But I can put it right into here, and it'll fit in nicely. And then I'll adjust the floor to shape around this. And honestly, if I put another one... If I remove that window, put another one right in here... Probably be alright. I don't know. I don't know for sure. Right now I'm just working on floors in this area. Like I haven't settled on anything just yet. Engineer's hammer. We'll go ahead and make that. And then we'll throw in our coal. It's going to start running and producing our coal coke for us. Now this area is not really chunk loaded. That's fine. I'm over in the castle enough and I've got to do work over here. So that'll be alright. Let's go ahead and make ourselves a crafting station. That there. And then let's take a look. What we're actually working towards is making ourselves our engineer's workbench and then the vacuum tubes. So the engineer's workbench is just a crafting table, 3 treated wood planks, and a treated wood fence. So let's actually pull up drawer controller. Because we can make that. That's not a problem. We can make the platinum plates. That's standard. Star metal we've got. Redstone engineering block is what we're working towards, which is iron plates, redstone alloy plates. Not a problem. But we have to make vacuum tubes. And then we also have to make copper wire, which we can do this right here, which takes treated wood. And then the engineer's blueprint for... Oh, this is crafting components is the one that we need. So it's 3 blue dye, aluminum, iron, copper, and then 3 paper for that blueprint. So... but there's coal coke, and we got the advancement creosote now. I'm going to go ahead and just snag this one because I'm actually not... These things grow so fast. Even though the collector is bugged, like it really doesn't matter because these things still produce so fast. So I'm going to move the weirding gadget over here for right now. I'll probably end up crafting more of these things, we'll see. But right there will be fine for the time being. Because I need some of that creosote to build up. And then let me go get a couple things together, because I would like to get our drawer controller today so we can start actually plugging up this warehouse, and I can start sorting this stuff out and figuring out where everything is going to go, and plugging all this up between episodes. So I'll be back here in just a moment. Okay, I've got the plates going. You can see I've got copper, nickel smelting up, I've got redstone, and then I've got a stack of glowstone that's about to go in there. I'm just going to go ahead and make a stack of redstone plates, and I made a half stack of platinum and iron plates each. We don't need that many right this second, but I know we're going to need a lot of them as we move forward. So, redstone and glowstone, not a problem. I've also got some things together. Let's pop over here, and we're going to go get ourselves our first bits of treated wood. So, we'll just take a bucket, and let's get a little bit of this. And I'm going to go ahead and just lay this out and leave these here for the time being. So there's treated wood. And I'll tell you what, let me actually grab... I'm going to set up another crafting station right here. So we're going to need some sticks, some treated sticks, and then we're going to want to make treated fences. And then I'm going to need a little bit more treated wood. There we go, and that's actually probably enough. And then for the drawer controller, for the vacuum tubes, we need the engineer's workbench. A little bit more wood to make another crafting table. I've got that portable crafter, but this is just easier, you know. Engineer's workbench, there we go. And there's an advancement for the engineer's workbench. And then we're also going to need to make ourselves the engineer's blueprint for crafting components. So this one right here. So we'll go ahead and snag that. And then let's go ahead and just set up our engineer's workbench right there for right now. And we'll throw our blueprint in. And we want to make vacuum tubes. So we need... does it have to be blue stained glass? Or can it, I think it can be any kind of stained glass, right? Yeah, any kind of glass. And then 2 copper wire and a redstone makes 3 vacuum tubes. So these things actually go pretty far. Let's pop over, and I need to make iron knife blade, and then I need to make the cutting thing. And it's still working on smelting something, or is it just taking a while? Okay, yeah, it's having to make constantan and then change it over redstone alloy. So it is taking it a minute. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start that pouring out. It should be done creating alloys by the time... Yeah, it should be done with alloys by the time it runs through all that. But I am going to have to make that as a cast, yes. And there's our knife blade. And then I want to go ahead and get a couple of these made so I can actually use them to make vacuum tubes. I'm going to pull out or... Aha, no space. Swift pick is a bad idea. Okay, so we'll just put that down right there and hit the lever and let that run. Okay, so we've got copper plates, iron plates, platinum plates, and redstone alloy plates. And now we should be all set. So we can take this, that, get our engineer wire cutters, cut this stuff down, get our copper wire, and then we just need 2 pieces of glass, which I'm probably running low on, in fact. Still have not made a drawer key. I will. Now that we have a drawer controller, we can actually start moving into automation, so I will want these locked. That's the main reason I haven't bothered with it, because I didn't have a drawer controller, so it really didn't matter. But I will get one of those made, because it's not expensive in the least. Okay, so, here we go. Redstone, glass, 2 copper wires, and we can get our 6 vacuum tubes. We'll go ahead and grab those. Alright, we are on the right track. And then for the actual drawer controller. Star metal, not a problem. Nether amethyst. I do need to go grab that. And we need a piece of trim, which I think I've got some made up. If not, it's not really an issue to make some up real quick. You know, I'm not for sure if I have star metal made, now that I think about it. I may have to whip up some of that real quick. Okay, here we go. Epic moment right here. Drawer controller. There we go. There is that. Okay. Really didn't take that long to craft. All in all. So there's that, and where do we want to put this thing at? That is the question. I remember making it and planning on putting 4. I think that's what I'm going to do. That was my original plan, was to put 4, like 1 in each quadrant, and that's why this is set up the way where it is, because it should be 25 by 25 that the drawer controller is going to cover. Of course, at the time I didn't realize they were kind of expensive, but really, I mean, I could make up 4 of these fairly easily, and that's like, yeah, see, that's plenty size. Because I was going to have, this part's going to be the elevator, so I couldn't put it in the center, really, and have it effectively accessed. So my original plan was to put it over here. You know, the drawer controller, this one would handle, like, this quadrant. I don't know how many drawers are actually going to be on the top floor. Probably not that many. It's mainly going to be chests, I think. This should be alright. Okay, so what we're going to need to do, then, I guess the first one that we're going to set up is this one over here that handles the blocks and stuff. At long last, it's time we start actually locking things. Don't forget, you can hold the drawer key in your offhand, and it will lock any drawers that you place. But we are not placing drawers right now, so I'm not going to do that. Alright, so let's just go through and... Well, actually, I'll tell you what. I'm just going to use the drawer controller to lock them all. Okay, so we need to make some framed trim, I think is our first order of business. Let's see, we're going to pull up right here. And let me throw my magnet just to make it a little bit easier to grab this stuff. We'll pull up that, and a piece of that dark oak. So we've ran all the way over to here, and then a piece of that spruce, and then a piece of that spruce. That should be good. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a piece of frame trim right there. It doesn't have to be. We're not going to frame that one because you're not going to be able to see it. Let me pull this up. Let me go ahead and plug this up. Basically, we have to have the frame or the trim plug up into all of this. Okay, right there is a drawer. So I'm going to put a piece of trim there and just kind of bring it around to there. And then we're going to have, there's a drawer there, so trim there, and then we're going to have to do the framing part of this. So over to the framing table, let me pull this out and pull this out, frame trim, and we're going to just frame all of these. So there's one, there's those two, there is that, there is those two, and that should be all that we are going to need. That might be backwards, that's fine if it is. Frame trim there, and that's basically going to be for the ceiling, because I'm going to have another block on there, so the drawer controller is eye level. And then, oh, that's not going to connect. Well, it can't really be helped. And I really like this design, so that'll, I don't know. I might figure out something else to do. That's like right here, this grain's not going to match. And there's not really anything I can do about that either. Because you can't rotate that. So, I don't know. It's about, I don't know. I do not know. At least I don't think you can rotate that. Yeah, it just places it like that. Okay. Well, anyways, that drawer line and that drawer line are now connected. Oh, actually, this one isn't connected though, is it? Okay, so I'm going to need another... I'll just bring frame trim up right here. And then I'm going to need one more. And then this whole quadrant will be connected. So I am going to have to craft 3 more drawer controllers for this building. And then I've got to craft one for the saplings, one for the wood area. Should be it. And then I just need frame trim right here. So what we're going to do is go with basalt. Alright, so frame trim right there, and then we can put down our drawer controller right there. And then what we'll do is we'll just take the drawer key and shift right click it. That may not all be plugged up yet. Oh, no, I'm sorry, just right click it. And you can see that it has locked all the drawers for us. So this is actually a perfect time to get the drawer key. And all this is locked, and all this is locked. So it's also kind of a check. So now we know that all of these drawers are connected. So then if I was to grab, like I've got cobblestone on me, a stack of cobblestone. And cobblestone is plugged up down here. I need to get this elevator put in. And then I can come over here and just right click, and you can see it's pulled the cobblestone out and it's dumped it into this drawer. So, and then what's going to happen is once we get everything plugged up, then we can just walk over here and, you know, after we've been out exploring, walk to the second floor and just walk around and hit hold right click on all these drawer controllers, and it's going to dump everything. Now, before too long, it's about wrapping up point for this episode, but before too long what we're going to be doing, like our next order of business, is we're going to work towards this advancement for flight. I want to get the Beastcraft airships. Okay, we're not actually going to start into RF power and all that stuff, I don't think. So it might be a little while before we can make the blaze rods to fight that boss, but that's okay. That boss isn't going anywhere, and it doesn't have anything that we particularly need. So we'll just tackle it as soon as we get to it. But our next order of business is to get into Visecraft, probably next episode. Make ourselves an airship. Get infinite flight for that, because it's actually really cheap in this episode. Or in this series, or in this pack, I'm sorry. So we're going to get ourselves a Beastcraft airship. And then I would really like to get into Blood Magic item transfer, which is not too far away, but it is available in Age 2. And honestly, aside from just super fast, like right here, the routing nodes, output, input, master routing nodes, and we can get these as soon as we get up to minimum 400 wheel. We need the imbued slates though. Well, we can technically already. But I think, I want to say it's the, is it the master? Master takes imbued. Routing node, 400 wheel. Yeah, I mean, technically we could go ahead and start making these. They are a little bit expensive, as you can see. Technically, I could do this recipe if I so desired, instead of the platinum. It's debatable. Honestly, I feel like diamonds are a little bit more common than platinum. Diamonds are easy to get in the abyss biome, or abyss dimension, so I might go the diamond route, because platinum is semi-rare. It's not super rare, but it's semi-rare. Plus, it seems like I have to use a lot of that for tech. So I might go the diamond route, because I can get diamonds, especially with Fortune 3, I could go farm up diamonds in no time. So we might go that route, I don't know. But I would like to start moving into that next episode and do a bit of blood magic next episode, because once we get routing nodes, and once we get a nice routing node system set up, that's going to be good for item transfer until we need something that's just like super fast, which I don't even know how extreme I'm going to go with this pack. Since it is on a server, we don't have to go super extreme with our builds. So depending, I mean, this is going to be fairly good item transfer rate. May not be fast enough for everything, but I think for most things it's going to be fine. And honestly, it has more control than most item transfers systems within the pack. So I don't even know if we'll ever really extremely change these out, because these are about as good as it gets in truth, and they're available in H3. So I do want to start working towards that, as well as some other little blood magic stuff. I feel like it's about time we pick that back up. Even though I don't think the pack's ever going to have us touch magic mods like ever again, it doesn't seem like, but That's one thing I feel like. I love this pack, but I feel like they just kind of like scraped over a lot of mods that had a lot of stuff in them. Just kind of scraped over them, barely touched on them. I mean, magic mods were completely skipped over. Astral Sorcery was barely used. Abyssal Craft was barely used. I think Abyssal Craft is used a little bit more later on, but still just bare bones. And Blood Magic is the same way, so we'll still be getting into those. But so that's the plans for the next episode, possibly the episode after. Before too long, we'll start getting into RF and start automating. Once we get the Blood Magic conduits, we'll really start automating. Like, we'll start automating like Cactus and get our chicken farm plugged up and some things like that, and actually start having some resources coming in on their own. Then before too long, we're going to start getting into Steve's carts, and we're going to use that probably for a lot of our farming, wood cutting, and possibly even for mining. We'll see. We might do a mining setup for that. It just depends. It just depends. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and if you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button, and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, to stay updated with when new videos come out. I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.